Good evening all. Snippet number 10, and this is going to go back over something I did in one of my previous snippets, but looking at one thing in particular, and that is knee osteoarthritis, which you could therefore reasonably guess that if it is effective for knee osteoarthritis, then if you have osteoarthritis in your hands, your wrists, your elbows, your ankles, your hip. Your hip might be more difficult because it's got a lot of covering, but those other ones, hands, ankles, knees, etc., then you could reasonably assume that the effects would be equally as good, if not better, in some of those joints because they are much smaller joints. So anyway, this research paper is hot off the press, and as far as it got published in the last week, and what it demonstrated was light, specifically infrared light, was able to significantly reduce pain and discomfort in those suffering from knee osteoarthritis. And so they compared it to inferential treatment, so like using electrical signals through the joint, and they found that combining the two, inferential and photobiomodulation, was effective, but they also found photobiomodulation as a standalone was very effective as well. And interestingly, they didn't find inferential treatment effective. So could you make the assumption that the reason inferential and photobiomodulation was effective was because photobiomodulation is effective by itself, as was shown in the study? Quite possibly, yes. So where does that leave us? That leaves us with yet another study that confirms just how potentially effective photobiomodulation is in helping people with knee osteoarthritis regain some kind of quality of life, reduce that pain, improve mobility, etc., which is an amazing thing. And I can personally vouch for photobiomodulation and osteoarthritis because that's what I suffer from in my ankle, and so that's why I use it, if not on a daily basis. I've used it once this morning, and I'll use it again tonight because I did some explosive training today, so jumps, so that tends to really flare up my ankle. But I know just how well that photobiomodulation works with regards to reducing the pain, reducing the inflammation, improving the mobility in that joint. So it's just another confirmation of what I already know and what I've already said many times before, because there are other research articles, research papers that have shown the same thing. Specifically in knee osteoarthritis. So if you are someone that has knee problems, then I urge you to look into photobiomodulation and what it can do for you. And the great thing is, because it's a knee, or because the joints are different sizes, you want to look at different size applications for infrared. So I have little torches, which actually I have used this morning, because I can literally put it on my skin and do different point sessions, as it were. So that would be good for fingers and wrists and stuff like that. Or you can get handheld bulbs, or more recently I've just started stocking wraps, which are absolutely brilliant, and I would imagine perfect for knee osteoarthritis, because you literally wrap the entire light device around your knee, and so your knee is targeted from every single angle. So, and they went relatively quickly. They got sold out relatively quickly, so I had to buy some more in, and they should be in either the end of this week or early next week, so that's good. So, wraps, torches, lamps, photo wall modulation, very good for knee osteoarthritis, and therefore you can positively assume that what works for knee osteoarthritis would be effective for other types of osteoarthritis and other joints. Have a great evening, and I hope you got enough light today, even though if your weather was anything like mine,